Okay, guys, I am back with another YouTube video, and I know I have not put a video on YouTube in so long, but y'all gotta understand I am not a content creator, okay? But I was like, let me go ahead and just get a few clips together and put it on YouTube and see if the girls are liking it. So yeah, this is it. I am doing small box braids mid back on my client, and yeah, just meshed a couple clips together and decided to post it. So yeah, here it is. Um yeah, so during this video, I just wanted to answer a couple of questions that a lot of people ask me, my clients ask me. Um I guess things that people don't know about me because I'm not like on social media. As far as like hair, I don't do a lot of content. So a lot of people don't know stuff about me. And since I am going to be posting on YouTube more, I just wanted to just get these things out here so people can know who I am, what I do, and why I do it. So my Instagram name is Braids by TT, BRAIDSBYTT. I've been braiding since I was 11 years old. And when I say I am 20 plus years older than that now, so yeah, it's been a long time. Um, a lot of people ask me, well, how did you start braiding? Like my mom has 5 girls, and for some reason she was not blessed with the braided hand. You know, shout out to my mama. I love her to death. But she used to send us to school with some crazy looking braids, some crazy looking hairstyles. And, you know, they used to like talk about my sisters, like, you know, teasing them and whatever. And I was like, no, we're not having this. So, you know, back in the day, they used to call them dookie braids. So I was like, how about you get the hair and I'll do my sister's dookie braids? And I braided their hair and it was popping and everybody liked it. So yeah, ever since then I was braiding and I just couldn't stop. Not that I did not want to stop, because that is something I never intended to do. But because I had started it, it was like I couldn't stop. People wanted their hair done by that point. Um, so yeah, that's my story. And that was when I was 11. And like I said, now I'm much, much, much older. And I'm still braiding. Braiding is just something I do as like a little side hustle. I'm just good at it. It's not something I'm doing as a career or anything. It's just something I'm good at, and so I do it. Um, so yeah, I don't know what movie this is we're watching. I think it's the new Father and the Bride. Yes, there's a new Father and the Bride movie on HBO Max, y'all. Y'all gotta watch it. It's so good. If you like me and you are like older, you know, I was born in the 80s. You know, Father and the Bride was like that movie. Like, I watched those movies like back to back to back, over and over and over. I was addicted to the Father and the Bride. So when I seen that it was a new Father and the Bride out, I was like, okay, let me watch this and see what it's given. And you know, it was funny, it was cute. They modernized it. It was up to date. I really had no complaints. The little wedding planner guy, though, who was in the original movies, he just used to give me so much life. And I wish they had a character like that in the new movie. I know they had like a wedding planner, and she was like really mean and grumpy, and like, you know, she was just all over the place, but she wasn't like him. There's only one Martin Short, period. So yeah. Um Another question people ask me is like, when am I free to braid? So I do have a booking link. It's in the bio of my Instagram page, and I also send it to people who, you know, DM me or text me, so they can look at my availability. But you know, It is in my bio. So if you go to my Instagram page, Braids by TT, you will see the booking link in my bio. So you're able to look at my calendar, see what, I have available, and you can basically book your appointment from there. I kind of try to stick to the classics. Like, I try to stick to, the box braids, the knotless braids, Senegalese twists. Um, I don't do too many kids' hair. Like, I'm not really into the whole, you know, child styles. But, maybe. But yeah, I just try to stick to the classics. Maybe, French braids in the front, knotless in the back, just something simple. I'm a simple braider, but every now and then somebody will come with like a picture and be like, "Hey, can you do this?" And I'll be like, "Of course I can do it." You know, if I do the butterfly locks, I do soft locks, I do faux locks, all different sizes, small, extra small, medium, large, jumbo. I am not a medium person, like small, medium. No, ma'am. I'm not that person. Um, I just try to keep it simple. I don't want you to like go to my booking link and read it and be like, oh my goodness, it's just too much to read, too much to choose from. I try to keep it just short and to the point, Um, just get here on time. If you're late, if I'm late, whatever, you read everything, you book, and that's it, period. Um, I know there's a lot of stuff going on about, you know, people, stylists not showing up and stylists charging extra for this and that. I am not that person. I do not charge for my parts, honey. And as you can see, my parts are always clean. I always take my time and make sure, there is not a hair out of place. I always like my work to look simple, clean, but just know I put that work in. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of some other stuff people ask me. Oh, yeah. So basically, I work from home. I have been asked multiple times, like, do you work in the shop? Do you want to work in the shop? Come work at my shop. I've been asked by multiple beauty salons, braiding salons for me to come work in their shop. But like I stated, I am not wanting to braid professionally. I am not wanting to make this a career. I actually just graduated with my bachelor's in psychology. That is my career path. But braiding, like I said, is just something that I'm good at and I do on the side. But yes, a lot of people have asked me to work in their salons, and a lot of my clients ask me, am I going to go to a salon? And I always ask them, like, so what do you think? Like, if I decided to work in a salon, would you still come to me? Or, how do you feel about it? And 9 times out of 10, a lot of them say, like, I prefer the more intimate setting. Beauty salons, braiding salons are very just out there. They don't feel, comfortable, talking, and they just want that comfortability. They want to sit there, watch movies, listen to their music, get on their phone. They don't want all the rowdiness in the background. And that's totally understandable. Like, I just put on the movie and I'll tell you, this is around how long it's going to take. If you want to watch anything, if you're binge watching something, if you want me to put on a show, if you want to listen to your music, it's perfectly fine. Get comfortable. If you want to take your shoes off, plug up your phone. I have my clients, when I'm doing their hair, like they're at work sometimes. They bring their laptops, I have very close relationships with some of my clients. Like, we have like deep conversations, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like having that connection with my clients, so it's not awkward, and it's not like, just that awkward feeling. I think that connection is important, so that when someone is asking them about you, they have positive things to say. And, I have that type of personality where it's like, if you talk to me, I'm going to talk back. And I'm going to, you know, try to, how can I put this? I'm going to be genuine in my conversation. I'm going to ask questions. I want to know things. We talk about trips. We talk about their kids. We talk about their families. I talk about my family. We talk about our friends. We talk about experiences. Like, I try to be genuine and I try to just have fun, and I want people to laugh and have a good time. And, I think that's the experience that my clients want. And I try to give that. And I think we just overall have a good time, and or if we're watching a movie and I put on a movie and they're into it, if it's scary, they scream and I'm like, oh my God, you scream. It's just crazy. Or if it's funny, they get to laugh out loud. And it's like, you're free to do that here. You're in a safe spaces. While I beautify your hair, you can watch this movie. You can have a good time. If you want to watch another movie, let me know what you want to watch. And that's that. I just like the good vibes. It's all about the vibe. And I think they can appreciate that. You know? Let's see. Yeah, so basically, I don't get a lot of questions about like products I use. I kind of noticed that as long as their hair look good, some people just don't ask those questions. But I just use a simple edge control to tame hair. I do understand that there are different hair textures. So I do use different products for different hair textures. I use something heavier if they have a kinkier hair texture, and I use something lighter if they have like a more fine, thin type hair. One thing I did want to touch bases on is the types of parts I do for different textures of hair. When I ask, like before I start their hair, unless you're like a regular client, like if you're a new client and you're coming in, I always ask like, do you have a particular way you want your hair parted? You have the classic box braid, the box, and or you have the triangles. You have I call them moon parts, where it's not like a specific part. I always ask because if they have a preference, I'll go ahead and do that. But if they say I don't, I kind of just, put my fingers through the hair. I feel to see how thick it is, how thin it is, and how I can achieve a clean look, a full look with the parts. So in my experience, I noticed that sometimes people with like a thicker texture, I have 4C hair, thicker texture. So when I do my own braids, I never do like box parts. And I say that because whenever I do box parts on my hair, it makes it very hard to not only maintain, but I notice that my hair is too thick for regular clean parts. I always do moon parts on my hair. It spaces out my hair to where I'm able to like successfully oil my hair. I can see all of the parts. It just makes it easier to not only maintain my hair, but it gives me the full look that I want, if that makes sense, without being too full. When you have 4C hair, you're so used to that thickness, you can't really see your scalp. You're like, oh my God, I just want something like a clean look as far as braids, and I noticed that when I do moon parts on my hair, I get that look that I want, but at the same time, it's light and it just looks very professional. So I do that with my clients as well. If they don't have a preference on parts, I always go for the moon parts when they have really thick hair, because it gives them the ability to like be able to maintain their hair, but at the same time, it's still full, but not super thick to where they can't even get a ponytail, can't really do a bun. They have a million braids in their hair. It's just, you got to be a braider to know what I'm saying. And then when they have like a more thin texture, I kind of go with the boxes or maybe the triangles, because you can layer, you can, do the brick pattern to make sure you're still giving them that thickness, because they're used to thin hair. So you want it to be a little thicker. You want to give them the look that they want, but due to the parts being so clean and crisp, you're giving them that perfection. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying, you know. But like I said, sometimes you have to actually, be a braider to know what the hell I'm talking about, because I could just go on and y'all will be like, what the hell is she talking about? Another thing, people ask me, like, what is mousse for? When you finish their hair and then you put the mousse on, they're like, what does that do? And I watch a lot of braiders on YouTube, and a lot of times the braiders be like, I don't know what the mousse is for. I just do it because I see other people doing it. And I'll be like, what? When you look at the mousse bottle will tell you what it's for, what it does. So that's a little confusing to me. But me, I use mousse on here. I try to get extra whole mousse. And it's just for like the flyaways to keep the frizz down. Sometimes when you're working with natural curly hair, over time, it might get a little frizzy on the scalp. I tuck all my braids, so I don't really worry about frizz on braids, but just the roots, and just to make sure that, because it is Kanekalon hair and it can get frizzy itself. So I put mousse on my braids to just keep the frizz at a minimum and just to keep it very slick looking. That first day when you walk out, the braids be popping, sis. And you got like a full 2 weeks before you even see a drop of frizz. So I always tell them, like, when you go home, you don't have to overdo it. I'm going to get you together for like the first couple days. I'm going to oil you down and I'm going to mousse it. Probably around day 3 or day 4. You can maybe put a little oil on there, mousse it, keep your hair wrapped up. Your braid should be looking perfect for at least the first 2 weeks. Now, week 3, of course, you might see some frizz. You're going to notice your braids have loosened up quite a bit. But as long as you keep that mousse and some oil, and silk bonnet, hair tie, however you wrap your hair up, it should stay looking neat. That's what you're going for. It's a protective style. It's not going to stay fresh for like 8 months, but you want your braids to look neat. And if you're a good braider, although the roots will begin to loosen, the braids will still look neat. And that's what you want. You want the hair to be protected. You want it to be tucked. You want the hair to grow. And you want to let them know how to do that, how to take care of their hair until they take it down. So yeah, that's what the mousse does for me. I don't know if other braiders have that experience. Okay, so basically right here, I kind of slowed it down. This is basically how I do a box braid. When I get my hair, I always split it into 3 pieces. One side stays untouched and I split the other side into 2. That is how I do it. I don't crisscross, none of that. I put the Kanekalon hair onto their hair and I begin to braid. I do one once over. I then split their hair into 2. So the 2 pieces that I split with the Kanekalon hair, I distribute their hair onto each piece. So there we go. And then I just begin to braid down. I'm sorry, the camera is like really shaky, y'all. I could not get it. Y'all, I told y'all I'm not no content creator, but baby, I'm trying. Okay. As I'm going down, you'll notice like I'm grabbing hair, just trying to make each piece even. And if you look at my braids, I do it flawlessly. You don't see any lumps, bumps, anything like that. I know there are a lot of different techniques as far as beginning your box braids. And trust me, I've tried them all. But I am a person who, I do not like a super big knot at the beginning of my classic box braids. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I do not like tugging and pulling on people's roots. I like a tight braid, but not super tight to where their scalp is bleeding. or you know when you do it so tight, you could just tell their follicles are like hanging on by a thread. So I like my braids tight, but I don't like them like harmfully tight. But yeah, I like my knot at the beginning to look natural. Like I like it to look like a braid, but not like a strong ass braid, like damn, that's a knot. So yeah, I'm going to try to show you guys one more time how I begin my box braids. Hopefully I can explain it right. Like I tried before and I could not really explain it. I guess, you just got to try it yourself. But sometimes it could be a struggle. I don't know anybody else who does their box braids like this. So yeah, I'm just adding some products. And again, I'm splitting only one side of the hair into two. So one side of the connector line hair is still one piece and the other side is split into two. So I'm just straight, making sure her hair is straight, no lumps, no bumps. I'm going to put the connector line hair onto her natural hair and I'm going to start to braid one time. So I'm going to do a once over. Okay. Now I'm going to split her natural hair into two. And each side is going to get a piece of her natural hair. So I still have that one side that has not been touched. And then I'm going to start the braid down. Now, once I do the braid one time, I lock it into place. This is how I lock it into place. So the piece that I did not touch, I take a little bit of it and I just start to braid. I just start to braid down. I'm going to do a more in-depth video about how I start my box braids because I know when I say lock it into place, y'all like, what? But I know y'all know, like sometimes when you do a box braid and you just start braiding regularly, that thing will slip out, honey. While you braiding, it will slip out. So I kind of have this technique of just like locking it into place just by like when I borrow that little bit of hair, it locks it so the braid ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. It says it's staying. And it took me a long time to realize that and learn it. And, you can watch as many videos as you want. But until you do it and figure out your own technique, you're going to be like, what the hell? And like I said, I've been doing this since I was 11 years old. And I've done box braids like 50, many different ways. Okay. And I've perfected my own technique. And this is the way I've been doing it for about 10 years now. So yeah, I'm just simply braiding it down. And if you notice, I kind of wait to the end to finish my braid down. I just, braid halfway down. And then once I'm finished with all of the braids, then I'll go back and just do the ends. But here's just a close up of where I am so far. And this is the finished product before the braid down. And here is the actual finished product. This is after I put some tea tree oil on her hair and moussed her down. I dipped her ends. Yeah, so, so as you can see, they're tight, but they're not tight to the point where y'all feeling sorry for her scalp. They look very clean. My client is natural. She has beautiful hair, beautiful texture hair. And I wanted to give her a clean look. Yeah, I think they look gorgeous. I think they look neat. And I love them. Y'all love them? I love them. But yeah, you guys, I do want you guys to go to my Instagram at Braidsbytt. Please make sure you follow me on Instagram. If I haven't said it, I am a Cleveland braider. I am currently accepting new clients. So if you do want to book an appointment with me, just click the link in my bio. Peace.